Hi everyone, this is Holly with Reiki Light Blessings. I have a monthly tip. This monthly tip is a sensitive topic. I want to preface by saying that I am not a licensed therapist. I am going to be sharing my experiences today, and the experiences that I'll be sharing with you concerns death and loss. It is something that we will all experience. Every living being goes through birth and then also goes through the death process. When we experience the loss of a relationship, that can also be a death, and the death is life as we know it will never look the same. With the death process, for me, I do struggle with letting go. I struggle with denial at times. And I want to be upfront and say that this year has been unique for our family. We have experienced 4 deaths since late January. 2 were grandmothers who did live long lives. Their passings are painful. However, for me, it felt more like a transition that God was bringing them back home. And when I say God, I want you to honor whatever term that you call your higher power, whatever term you call your creator. I want you to go ahead and honor your own belief system. And I want to also say the grief process is a unique journey for each and every person, and it is unique for each and every loss. With the grief process, like I said, I can struggle with denial. And what that looks like for me is, they're really gone? Are they gone? They're not going to be part of my family anymore? So that question will pop up, or just that pang of they're no longer here will hit me. And that doesn't always mean that the denial part of the grief process is right in the beginning. It will trickle for however long my healing process is. And so sometimes that's a year later. It just depends. There might be certain days where I'm hit with, they really are gone. And this is our brain working through trauma and trying to work toward acceptance. Another thing that I have struggled with during the grief process is that letting go and that acceptance. So sometimes when our brain is trying to work towards that acceptance and that letting go, it wants answers. So you may search and search for answers for why this has happened. You may even question, what if I had done this, or what if I had done that? One thing that happened to me after the death of my daughter in 2005, I did question God. I thought, what did I do wrong for God to allow this? Now, in my healing journey, I have, in a place of comfort and peace, I no longer have that thinking. I know that my daughter's death was meant. I had a lot of signs. I had dreams that she was not meant to be in the physical world with us, but she is with us in spirit. And I have a very close relationship. Even 18 years later, I feel very close to her and very fortunate that she is still part of our family, even though she's not alive today. So I want you just to honor your death process. When you go into blame or guilt or the what ifs, I want you to reach out to God, and I want you to pray, and I want you to, for me, it just brought a lot of comfort to start thinking about thankfulness and gratitude that I was able to love this relationship, to have this relationship in my life, that I no longer take life for granted. With each death, I have this overwhelming sense of life is precious. Love today. Tell the people that you love. Tell them that you love them. Speak. Show them. Appreciate each moment that is given in life. Another thing that helps me in the blessings as far as death is that renewal and that rebirth. So my life will never look the same. I have to come to acceptance that my future is not what I had planned it to be, and it will look different. However, in my future, I have other opportunities to love. I have other connections to bring into my life, and I am thankful for this. There is a saying that I always love. It is, if you want a deeper understanding of our Creator, of God, of your higher power, of Source, observe nature. The beauty of growth, the beauty of colors, the beauty of change, and also honor and respect the death process. And this can be very hard, and it is something that I want you to know right now. You're not alone, and I'm thinking of each and every person that is experiencing death and loss. God is with you. Your angels are with you. Your loved ones are with you. Which brings me to signs, my favorite part of talking about how loved ones are with us. Just absolutely adore all the signs that I'm given from loved ones. So I'm going to share my personal experiences, some ones that really knocked my socks off. So spirit or your loved ones can come in with smells. And what's funny for me is I don't have a great sense of physical smell. It's normally dulled a little bit. So when my loved ones come in with smells, it's overpowering and the smell just lingers and is so strong. It's a good sign that my loved one is talking to me personally. So a couple of weeks after my daughter died, her name is Chloe, in the hospital when I held her, when she was born, I smelled her and I had this smell, and it's going to sound funny, but the smell of Chloe was this warm, sweet glue type of smell. And so I was in my bathtub a few weeks after Chloe died, and in the bathroom, this overwhelming, such strong sense of sweet glue smell just came into the bathroom and stayed for like 20 minutes or longer. And I knew that Chloe was saying, "Hi, Mom, I'm here with you." It did bring me a lot of comfort. Another smell that I've had loved ones come in with for me personally is fresh cut grass. So I have a grandfather and an uncle who passed, who worked on golf courses. So this was in the middle of winter. In the middle of the night, my windows were shut. There was snow on the ground, and the overwhelming scent of fresh cut grass came into my bedroom, and I woke up to it in the middle of the night, and I knew that my grandfather and my uncle were saying, hi, Holly, I'm with you. So when I'm in sessions, sometimes I will also get scents. I did have a grandfather smell that was just so strong, and this client actually had been thinking of his grandfather during the session, and we discussed this. So it was really neat to have that confirmation through smell. Spirit can also send signs, so your loved ones can send signs through birds. One bird that everybody probably associates their loved ones visiting is the cardinal. Yes, they can come in the cardinal, but they can come in other birds as well. So the hummingbird is a bird that Chloe sends to me. I'll see it at the children's garden where we have a stone for her. I'll see it at my house, and I just know that she's speaking to me through the hummingbirds. They can come through insects. So Chloe does come with the monarch butterfly. And what's very interesting, in Colorado, we get a few monarchs, but nothing like what I received in Iowa or the Midwest when I lived in other states. So it doesn't happen very often. And there is a children's ceremony that we were a part of every June. They no longer do this, but they used to do this monarch butterfly release. Well, a few weeks before the monarch butterfly release, we were in our backyard. So this would have been in the month of June. Maybe 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And my sons and my daughter, we were all in the backyard of our house. And this monarch butterfly came and just circled our yard, circled Brady, which is my middle son, just kept circling him. And it was so funny because he was pitching baseball into a net. So you would think that the motion would have scared the monarch butterfly away, but it didn't. It kept circling him, and it would circle around us too. It was very, very neat, and definitely a sign of Chloe saying, "Hi, everybody, I'm here with you." Spirit can come, loved ones can come in your dreams. And so before we made a huge change and moved out of state to a different state, this would have been, honestly, it was 22 years ago. It was a long time ago. But my grandmother had died 22 years ago. So it was shortly after her death. It would have been about 4 months after her death, my grandmother Henrietta. And I had this dream where she was so vivid and so real and young and vibrant. And she was just conveying, I'm here, here's comfort for your move. It was such a neat, beautiful, fulfilling dream. I've had lots and lots of dreams with my kids. With every pregnancy, I had a lot of dreams with Chloe. I saw her, I've seen her aged, and so that was very neat to see what she would look like with the dark curly hair and all of that. So very, very neat. But your loved ones can come and send you messages and speak to you in your dreams. Generally, they're full of feeling. They'll be vivid. So those are very grateful and thankful for the blessings on how they communicate. Our loved ones can communicate through signs. Another way is through electronics. And so this is funny. We lost our 3-year-old dog. She passed on just a couple of weeks ago. So I'm still in the grief process of this. We also lost a young family member who was such a light, such a loving soul, who had a fairly young life that he had lived, and had a family as well, who is our family. But just working through those younger deaths can be hard as well. But Minnie was our 3-year-old Springer Spaniel who passed on 2 weeks ago, and before her we had a Cocker Spaniel named Pluto, so we have Disney names. But Pluto passed on at almost the age of 15. He was 1 week shy from 15. And ever since he passed, our TV will turn on and off. And it's the main TV in our living room, always where we congregate, where he loved to lay on the couch. And so it is funny, we do talk about Pluto. Please leave the TV off. Let's not turn that back on. So we do talk to him and know he's communicating. After Minnie passed, I had said to my daughter, maybe Minnie will talk through the lights. And one particular evening, my daughter and I were crying, and we were hugging about Minnie, and we're standing in our entryway, and the hall lights were flickering on and off for several minutes. And I literally came out of the hug and I said, Minnie, you're speaking. I hear you. I hear you, sweet girl. When Minnie was in the emergency hospital, when we were discovering what was going on, it was a full day process. And so they play a training dog show on the TV all day long. And my daughter and I went to go pick Minnie up. And when we were in the lobby, it was fairly deserted. There was only one worker or 2 workers in there, but nobody else was in. So the TV was echoing through the lobby. And my daughter said, Mom, they're saying Pluto. And Pluto is not that common of a dog name. I don't encounter that dog name very often. And lo and behold, on the TV, the dog they were training's name was Pluto. And we just kept hearing Pluto throughout the lobbies for many minutes. I mean, it was probably 15 minutes, but it felt like a comfortable sign saying, all is well, all is well. We are here with you. I asked for a sign from Pluto and Minnie. We're going to be bringing another dog into our family, and the dog's name that we've decided on is Mickey, and we bring Mickey home in June. And a couple days, when you ask for a sign, I do want to preface, when you ask for a sign, it doesn't necessarily happen the same day that you ask. So it can happen a couple days later, it can happen a couple weeks later, sometimes a month later. So when you ask for a sign from your loved one, know that you will receive it in the time that is meant. But I asked for a sign, and a couple days after I asked for a sign, I was in Costco, and there was a girl helping put all the groceries into the cart. And I looked at her name tag, and it was a girl, and her name was Mickey. M-I-C-K-E-Y. So not even M-I-C-K-Y, it was M-I-C-K-E-Y, like Mickey Mouse, our dog. So I knew, I was like, thank you for bringing this sign that Mickey is meant to be a part of our family. So lots of ways that loved ones can send signs. Also, physical touch. That doesn't happen quite as often, but I do want to share. So my middle son is 20 years old, and about 4 days before my middle son was born, we lost our grandfather, Grandpa Dick, and he was just such a beautiful soul, and just a light of fun life, laughter. And Grandpa Dick had passed 4 days before Brady was born. And a couple weeks after Brady was born, I had Brady in the bassinet. And so my older son was 2 years old at the time, too. But anyway, I was sitting at the computer and the bassinet was behind me. And I felt like the hair on the back of my neck kind of raised. And I felt somebody tap my shoulders, like a physical tap. And I knew right away that was Grandpa. I'm like, okay, I think that's Grandpa Dick. Grandpa Dick's trying to tell me something. I turned around and the blanket was over my son's face in the bassinet. So definitely Grandpa's saying, hey, this blanket's covering, not able to get all the breath that he needs. Let's take that blanket off. And so I was able to clear Brady's face so that he could breathe easier. And I definitely felt Grandpa Dick's presence. So know that that can happen as well. Music, a song will come on. That can be another sign from your loved ones. Favorite songs, movies. Maybe a movie from the 80s will be on the TV, and you know that was a favorite movie that you used to watch with your grandfather or grandmother, or a loved one, any loved one. I've heard a story where the phone will ring with your loved ones who's passed, their name, and they will be able to ring your phone even though their phone's disconnected. This actually happened to a close family member of mine, and with the death of our loving Kurt, who passed in March, when my family member found out that Kurt had died, his mother, so my grandmother as well, who has passed, she was calling his phone, and she has been passed for several years, so I think almost 3 years now. But very interesting. So just know that your loved ones can also call. If you want to contact your loved ones, all you need to do is think of their name. So be specific on the person that you'd like to speak with. So saying Grandma is one thing, but saying Grandma Henrietta, Grandma Dorothy, Grandma Doris is going to give that specific energy, that specific grandma call. It's like picking up the phone and calling that specific person. And if you're not feeling the presence of your loved one when you ask, leave a message. So I did hear this on a podcast from Megan Sisk and Michael Sandler. It was just such a great thing. Leave a message. Our loved ones can hear us. They can hear you. They are very much a part of our lives, whether or not we can see them, whether or not we can hear them through audible voice. They are with us. They are with us and they love us. So I just want to say, everyone going through the grief process, I am thinking of you. You are not alone. You are loved. You are always, always with Spirit. God is always with you. Creator is always with you. Your angels and your loved ones are always with you. Sending love to each and every person out there.